remember that.
Yeah.
Can't got to be careful with the editing, because obviously cutting out videos is a lot more difficult than cutting out.
Yeah. Some nice C-bombs.
Yep. Try not to swear. We're live on Channel 4.
We are live on Channel 4, Davina. Right, let's do this then. Hello, everybody. Okay, I roll. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the special festive edition. Christmas tree, baubles. Bauble just there, bauble above my head. The special festive edition of the FigureFourcast, where we're going to be taking a review of the year with some of our favourite moments, talking points of the year. There's been quite a lot, to be fair, when you went through it. Like when I was doing a bit of research earlier today, I was picking up things like, wow, 2022 has been quite the year for wrestling, WWE, AEW, all of it really. But we're mainly going to be focusing on the two big ones, WWE and AEW. Happy Christmas.
Happy Christmas. Hopefully this is going out in time for it to be Christmas.
Otherwise it will be quite redundant having these baubles above my head.
But Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Look at me fondling that bauble.
Everyone that's watching.
Oh yeah.
You didn't introduce us. So
oh yeah. You go for it then.
We are the hosts of the FigureFourcast, as always, King Damo and Sammy Drip Drip.
Yeah.
On video for second time? What, first time?
Something like that, yeah. There's a few of our forfeits on video, so you
yeah.
can, if you really want to look back at our feed, have a little look at Damien waxing his legs, me eating some chili sauce. I think we've got a live thing at the Clash at the Castle at the castle. Maybe a couple of other stuff, so
it will all be.
Feel free to have a look at our back catalogue.
I don't know how YouTube works. It'll be somewhere.
Click this button here. Oh no, I went the wrong way anyway. There's not going to be a button.
Okay, so let's try and have some sense about this video. Let's start at the beginning of the year, because one of the first little things I want to talk about was day one pay-per-view last year.
Day one. Forgot about that.
Not coming back for 2023, which is why I want to give it a little honourable mention at the beginning, because I really enjoyed it. Obviously, I think it was technically day 2 for us in the UK, but it was still part of the festive period. We hadn't gone back to work yet. It was nice, enjoying a little bit of wrestling, and it started with quite an interesting build. We had the Roman Brock stuff, which people have got quite tired of, rightfully so, but it was an interesting characterisation because they've been flipped from their previous roles. Roman was obviously the heel in this one, Brock was the face. We've not really had that before. I thought it started off the year in a good way, wrestling wise.
Wait, didn't that match get cancelled and it turned into a fatal 4-way?
Maybe
I'm sure Roman got.
It might have. I might have.
And then Brock beat.
It was the start of the whole Roman Brock storyline that obviously went into Mania.
Let me have a little look.
Not off to a good start.
Well done. One of your most memorable moments.
Oh, no, it was an honourable mention for starting off the year.
2 seconds. Day 1. Lesnar defeated Big E, Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, and Bobby Lashley. Fatal 5-way.
So he was meant to face Roman.
He was meant to face Roman.
Then he got added to the Fatal 4-way.
Yeah, and then won. It became a Fatal 5-way.
Wins the title, loses it at Royal Rumble, wins the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Honourable mention.
Honourable mention. I just liked that it was a pay-per-view in the beginning of the year.
Yeah. Got ya. Yeah, no, it was good to start. It seems like a long time ago.
Yeah. Shame it's not coming back, to be honest.
Yeah, did you say it's back in 2023?
No, it's not back.
Oh, it's not back.
It's not coming back this year. The next PVE is for WWE Royal Rumble. So
Royal Rumble, no.
But we'll get to talking about why it's not coming back, I think, a little bit later. There's obviously some developments that happened in the year. We'll circle back to those big developments.
I wonder what that could be. Yeah, and obviously we then had the Royal Rumble, which was quite underwhelming from what I remember. I remember being here in this room watching this TV with you, Ronda Rousey returning and winning and Brock Lesnar winning and feeling quite deflated. It wasn't the start of the year that I think WWE wanted to leave with the fans.
No, not a lot of surprises. I think that was one of the problems.
Yeah.
Some of the things that would have been surprises got spoiled, and then we was just kind of hoping for like a big surprise. There was rumours of a Cody Rhodes appearance. There was rumours of a John Cena appearance.
Rumours of pretty much everyone, and none of them showed up.
None of them
and
happened,
no one
so.
had any sort of idea of whose theme music was who.
Yeah.
And it was just one of the worst Royal Rumbles that I remember. But going from that low point to a real high, WrestleMania this year.
Yeah.
Fantastic, especially night 1. Night 2 I think was pretty good as well. Pat McAfee coming down to Seven Nation Army. Oh man, unreal. And one of the things I wanted to say, Steve Austin coming back and wrestling for the first time in 20 years or something like that.
I think if this time last year I would have struggled to believe it was. I think you joked about him winning the Royal Rumble, and we were like,
no, I wasn't far off it.
No, I was like, never going to happen. But he did main event night 1 of WrestleMania.
So I was halfway right, because I did say he was going to main event Mania. It was awesome. It wasn't even just like a little spot match. He was taking suplexes on the concrete with the fans and doing crap like that. Mad, absolutely mad.
And then that weird thing with Vince and the bad stunner. But
but
props,
look, we gloss over that.
Props to WWE's editing team, because they made that stunner look amazing on a recap.
Cut to Vince McMahon 15 years ago taking a stunner. Although he's never been very good at taking them, from what I remember. But real highlight. And now you'd probably say he's odds on to having another match at Mania this year.
Yeah, there's rumours starting, and that's
I think he's got that taste in his mouth.
In 2022 and 2023 that we could see Stone Cold Steve Austin wrestle, and it not be, oh no, Stone Cold Steve Austin's wrestling.
Yeah, exactly. And then he showed up on night 2 as well, obviously, and stunned. Who was it that he stunned on night 2? This is going really well. I mean, it was beginning of the year. McAfee, yeah, that was it. Because
he was laying, pouring, drinking.
McAfee and Corbin, was it? No, McAfee and Austin Theory. That's who it was, wasn't it? Because Vince came down, and then that was it. Wow, our memory is really bad.
Yeah.
It was quite a long time ago, probably about 300 days, maybe not that long actually.
9 months.
Yeah, there or thereabouts.
Talking about WrestleMania, we already mentioned him, but one of the highlights of the year, even though it was such a short run it was Cody Rhodes back in WWE.
Yeah.
Something a lot of people thought would never happen. There's obviously
anyone included.
A lot of shots thrown by Cody at WWE when he was one of the EVPs of AEW, and then rumours started to build, and I think by the time it happened at Mania, everyone knew it was going to happen.
Yeah, everyone expected it.
Obviously, he came out to be Seth Rollins' surprise opponent, put on a banger of a match, and then they had 2 more, both of which were amazing. And obviously, there was that Hell in a Cell with the torn tricep, pec.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was that side. I think it was this side. Great visual of him taking off his jacket and kind of revealing it. How he managed to get through that, I don't know.
Some of those visuals where Seth was digging in a kendo stick into his pec and stuff got me a bit squeamish, but rumours are that he's going to be returning in 2023 Royal Rumble, so we'll see. But it was one of those sort of rumours when it first came out. Cody, no, he's not going to be going to WWE. There was talk that he'd been working at AEW as a free agent for quite a while, and then I guess the deal was done. Let's not forget, this is a man, when AEW first started, smashed a throne symbolising Triple H
with a sledgehammer.
With a sledgehammer and everything. Yeah, it was a crazy one to think, but definitely one of the top moments.
I mean, we've not made a list of this. Maybe it's something we could do in the future. But if you was to put a top 10 matches for certain, one of those 3 Seth Cody matches is going to go in somewhere in that list for this year.
Yeah.
Definitely for WWE, but probably just wrestling in general, depending on how much you watch. Don't watch a lot of New Japan, anything like that, so they could be putting on some phenomenal matches.
I think I've watched one New Japan match in my life, and that was Chris Jericho, Kenny Omega, when it first happened. It was that big deal. So knowledge isn't that good for Japanese stuff. But
you follow a lot of AEW. I follow it a little bit and seem to pick up more on the negative stuff.
Yeah.
Just because that's kind of where Twitter goes, unfortunately. But what's kind of like a good thing from AEW this year?
A good thing from AEW. MJF. The future, the now of wrestling, in my opinion. I think he has been, without a doubt, the wrestler of the year for me, personally. Between him and maybe one or two others. But he has been
Reasonable
absolutely
choice.
unbelievable. World champion now.
Yeah.
And is carrying that company, essentially. He's definitely one of those people in wrestling that can cross over into mainstream, I think. He's got the gift of talking, he's got the look, and his wrestling is awesome as well. Like I say, he's just become the world champion, so he's going to be carrying that company through the future. He had some amazing matches with CM Punk.
Yep.
He had the dog collar match, which was unreal, so he's probably the highlight for me of AEW this year.
Definitely one to watch next year as well, because obviously they've been running the contract up in 2024 storyline,
Yep.
and eventually they're going to have to do something with it, because if he has renewed or does renew his contract, they've got to do something with it. They can't just leave it, because it's kind of like, what's the point?
Yeah.
So that's going to be something to watch this year next year into beginning of 2024, how they address that, because either he has to leave and go to WWE, which I don't think is going to happen, but he either has to do that or they have to tie it into a story in AEW, and it'll be quite exciting to see what they do with that.
For me, whatever they do, he carries that title up until then.
Yeah.
Personally, that's what I do.
We are in the era of long title reigns.
Well, we definitely are, and I guess that's a pretty good segue
Yeah.
into Roman Reigns' title reign and the Bloodline, which has dominated WWE program this year. It's been the main story pretty much the majority of the year.
Yeah.
Well,
No,
maybe not even post Brock Lesnar.
It's been
Yeah.
the story of the entire, because he's had the Universal title for two years.
Yeah, he returned to that SummerSlam, didn't he? Where
So
it was
2 years in SummerSlam.
Strowman against the Fiend or Bray Wyatt, whoever it was, and he returned and just dominated him at the end.
So he's had that for 2 years. He's now had the WWE for 9 months. He's had it since WrestleMania. So it was like he's been the top dog in WWE for a long time. The Roman Reigns experiment has finally paid off, because it's been the best we've ever had from him.
Mm-hmm.
And every time you think this story is getting a bit stale, they throw something else back into it, and it just gets that heat back. It gets exciting again. They did it with introducing Solo Sikoa, Clash at the Castle, that rejuvenated it, and then they've brought Sami Zayn in, and it's one of the funniest things to watch in wrestling at the moment. Feeling Usi, that whole promo, I was going to say, how they managed to keep a straight face. They didn't. That's how they all broke
by doing this. Jey Uso.
And it was so insane to watch. I think that's been the good thing that WWE have done, is that they have let this story grow. They've let it develop. Hopefully they have an end plan, but the middle has been so good that I think that's the most important thing to focus on.
It's been the best thing they've probably done in 10-15 years for me, personally. Story from beginning to now, unbelievable. I couldn't pick a fault in it at all. I'd say honestly it's perfect.
Every time I think I'm starting to not like it, they win me back round.
I haven't even got to that point
Right.
yet. It's just amazing.
Because
I love
sometimes
it.
they'll build to a match and I'm like, well, I know Roman's going to win, so I'm not interested in it. And then they just find that little hook to make you interested in it anyway. And you're like,
yeah. Well, surely it leads to Sami Roman at Mania.
well,
Personally, that's what I think. And is Sami the man that takes the titles off Roman?
I've heard that the rumour was, it's one of those things that keeps popping up, that Sami and Kevin Owens were going to be facing the Usos at Mania. And obviously Mania is going to be saved for a return of either maybe Cody Rhodes or The Rock. Is obviously the dream matches they've been building towards. Because I don't think Sami wins if he faces Roman at Mania.
I don't know. It's a hard one.
Maybe there's still time for it, but
I think that might get The Rock booed. If he was to take the spot of Sami Zayn, the popularity Sami Zayn's got behind him
I
now.
think you get Sami Zayn his spot before you introduce who's facing Roman. So you get to Sami versus. I think you have the Usos turn on Sami Zayn. I think I said it before War Games that I think Jey Uso turning on Roman and like the Bloodline, I think is now the better story than Sami Zayn turning on him.
Do you think? I don't know. I think it's going to be Bloodline turning on Sami. And Sami's just got to be the babyface.
There's something with Solo Sikoa.
Yeah.
It's not quite right at the minute.
He's awesome, isn't he? He's so good. But talking about Solo Sikoa, he was obviously introduced at Clash at the Castle, an event that our good selves were at.
Yeah, got the t-shirt somewhere.
Got the t-shirt somewhere. Maybe you could have worn it today. Ooh.
It's a bit cold.
It is a little bit cold in here. It's -1 outside, which in America is, I don't know, but
I'll put it on the screen here.
Yes, I'm going to guess 29 in American temperatures. Don't know though. Don't sue me. But yeah, Clash at the Castle. We're there. What an event!
What an event!
2 days we're there. Your first live WWE event, other than a live event that we went to last year.
First televised event.
Yeah. Want to sum it up?
Oh, how do you sum up an event like that? Exhilarating. We had an entire kind of build throughout the day. We talked about it at the time of it being like nothing. We said like they'd taken over Cardiff. There was signs everywhere. There was wrestling fans everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Saw so many titles and briefcases and other wrestling merch just walking to McDonald's. And the event, every match delivered.
Mm-hmm. There's only a few matches, weren't there? 6 matches. From what I remember.
It was new. It was into the new era of WWE, which had one slight drawback in that at that point no championships and stuff had changed hands, and it seemed like WWE was still trying to figure out where they were going into the new build. But like I said, all the matches were amazing. Still wish Sheamus had won. Could have picked up his what do they call? Is it Triple Crown? Whatever the
something like Grand Slam.
Grand Slam, that's the one.
Yeah.
Could have picked up his Grand Slam, but even without that win, amazing match he put on. Amazing main event. I believed up until the swerve right at the end that we was going to see a new champion crowned in the local hero Drew McIntyre.
I called it. I said Roman was winning, and so did that drunk guy behind us.
Yeah.
Let's go Roman.
The very ending of the pay-per-view, the less said about that, the better. The weirdness of Drew McIntyre and Tyson Fury singing. We thought it was just for us. We didn't realise until the next day it was on the network.
Yeah, bizarre. Apparently someone didn't cut it off as well.
It was meant to be cut off.
Yeah,
right.
and someone forgot to or didn't by mistake.
That makes a little bit more sense.
So you got to see the loser, Drew McIntyre, look like a complete dork.
Yeah, it didn't hurt him. Everyone said I ruined him. It didn't.
I guess not. No, I guess not. Solo Sikoa turned up, didn't he? And I thought it was Anthony Joshua.
Yeah.
Because all I saw was a goatee.
Goatee
it's
from a long
Anthony Joshua.
distance.
No, it's not. It's Solo Sikoa. Okay, cool.
The cash-in attempt as well.
Oh yeah, and the punch from Tyson Fury. Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. It was a great event. It was a great event, and that Sheamus against Gunther match was one of my matches of the year. I think probably one of everyone's matches of the year. It was just so hard hitting and believable. It was everything what you expected from those two and a little bit more.
Yeah.
For me, and it was just incredible. And I think personally the right man won.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've been hyping up the year quite a bit. There's obviously it's not been all good. There's been some unfortunate bad along the way.
Yeah, Vince McMahon's a nonce. Pass it on.
I mean,
not in a literal sense.
Didn't really want to get into that, but yeah, the scandal, I guess is the right word, that surrounding Vince McMahon this year. I mean, we've always known him to be a little creepy, to say the least. There's been too many instances of him like flirting with the women on camera, which looking back on Attitude Era and the Ruthless Aggression Era WWE, not got the best feel to it anymore. Probably should have realised at the time, but I mean we were kids, so we wouldn't have known anything. But it came out that he was kind of like that behind the scenes. Lots of
paid off a load of people with company money.
Lots of allegations, and we've not heard any more for a while on that. But the big fallout from it was that he steps down as chairman.
Retired
on Twitter.
76 or whatever, and you got his age wrong.
Did he get his age wrong?
Yeah. You said, let me find the tweet. You fill time. I'm going to find the tweet.
I'll try and post the tweet up. I don't know how good I am at editing.
But yeah, it was his birthday, like a week or so after.
I mean, that kind of tells you everything you need to know about Vince McMahon. If he got his own age wrong in his retirement thing. But yeah, that was the fallout from it, which was a really negative time in wrestling when it was all breaking, because it sucks when something you enjoy is being dragged through the mud. But it did have that small silver lining in that it was enough to get him out. Obviously,
this was his tweet. Let me just read it out to you. At 77, time for me to retire. Thank you, WWE Universe. Then, now, forever, together. But yeah, at the time he was 76. So yeah, tells you everything you want to know about a senile old man that had lost his mind and was no longer the booker that he used to be.
No.
Reflected in the product and that tweet.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you say,
it got him out.
Retired.
We've now got the leadership trio of Triple H, Stephanie McMahon, and Nick Khan.
Jolly old St. Nick.
And there has been a noticeable improvement in WWE since. So, as fans, that is obviously a good thing. Obviously, all the stuff about Vince, definite bad thing, and hopefully he gets what's coming to him.
Yeah.
For it. So
their shows have now become functional, and Triple H has simply added logical storytelling into it. Stories that don't just get dropped on a dime. Stories that actually have like a meaning, a beginning, a middle, and end. Some of Triple H's booking I find a little bit boring, but it's a million times better than what we're getting served.
It's like old WWE.
Yeah,
it's very much like the WWE that a lot of people would have fallen in love with.
Yeah.
It's not the same match every week. I mean, there are repeats of matches, but it's not the same one every week in, week out. There are wins and losses feel like they matter, and losses tend to roll in. So we had it with Austin Theory recently. He cashed in. He tried to cash in a few times on world champions, failed. Then he tried to cash in, and he was successful in cashing in, but failed to win the United States title, which felt very weird.
Very weird.
But then it got turned into a story which has seen him take on a more ruthless attitude, and he's now become the champion, and it feels like he's actually going somewhere. Which
he's got the best version of him I think we've seen,
because he wasn't going to beat Roman.
No,
he wasn't. If he faced one, he was just going to lose. So they did something with it, and it's like I feel like under Vince he would have just tried to cash in on Roman, got beat.
Well, that's it.
Forget about it. But they've done something with it. They've tied stories together. There's like 3 stories all going into one in that United States title picture, which is unheard of in modern WWE. So
it's good stuff. Yeah, WWE is definitely on the up, and it's feeling much more of a positive place.
Loads of people have come back as well.
They have.
I
was thinking that
almost every big name that was released in the last 2 years under Vince. That isn't at another promotion or doing something else in their life has come back.
Yeah, those mass exoduses that Vince got. Let's try and figure them out. So we had Tegan Knox on SmackDown. We've had Dakota Kai.
Yeah.
Came back.
Io Shirai. Oh, she hadn't left.
She
was leaving.
We had Emma.
Yeah.
Recently. I'm just trying to go back from who I can actually remember. Karrion Kross.
Yeah.
And Scarlett. We've had...
who came back as their NXT versions, not as their weird Raw versions.
we had... Who else have we had?
We've got Bray Wyatt.
Bray Wyatt, obviously. Less said about him, the better. We've had... Maybe he's one of the negatives of the year. Return, brilliant. From there...
I'm still a fan.
Pressure.
I'm still a fan.
Really?
Yeah.
The thing with Bray Wyatt, right, usually he's great until he gets in the ring. Like, he's got all these supernatural things. Oh, great. Oh, spooky story. Gets in the ring. He does a headlock. Oh, he's just a wrestler. That's what happens with Bray Wyatt. He's not floating around the wing. He's not doing a spell. He's got a box-like structure and he's doing a headlock.
I enjoyed him when he was the Fiend. I'm enjoying him now when he's just regular old Bray Wyatt with Uncle Howdy watching over from the Tron.
Yeah.
Want to know where it goes. Excited to find out.
Braun Strowman.
Fully expect to be disappointed when we do. Yeah, Braun came back.
Got quite a lot. And some that sort of aren't big names. They're like mid-card. They all seem to be fairly mid-card ones. No massive ones, apart from Bray and maybe Braun. But yeah, we've got some people coming back, so that's good. People in work is good.
Yeah, like I said, a lot of bigger ones were like they found a place in like AEW, for example. So you can't pinch them back. Although there's rumours WWE did try.
Talking about AEW, just while we're there.
Yeah.
They've had some pretty ropey moments this year. So
it's been,
people fighting each other on
year
numerous
drama
occasions.
For AEW.
Yeah. Just off the top of my head, other than the big one that we're going to speak about in a minute, we've had Andrade punching Sammy Guevara and trying to get fired so he could go back to WWE. We had Sammy Guevara and Eddie Kingston having a fight. We've had quite a few people having a fight backstage and all sorts of drama going on. And then of course we had Brawl Out, where CM Punk lost his mind in a press conference. I don't know what he was thinking, and pretty much just went in on the Bucks, the Elite, Kenny Omega, all sorts of people, Hangman Page, which ultimately led, if that wasn't enough, it ultimately led to a physical altercation in his room where people got bit, a dog maybe got kicked,
the chair was thrown.
The chair was thrown, Nick Jackson got punched in the face. All sorts of shit went down, and since then we've had the Elite return in Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks, which kind of might sort of suggest who was the instigator of the violence. CM Punk's not come back.
Well, he's injured.
Injured.
He did get injured during the match before. Yeah. That was kind of the setup. I do question the more stuff that goes on since, or whether we're being worked.
I don't think it's a work.
No, I didn't think it at all when it all happened. Like, it all felt very organic and real.
Yeah.
What's kind of maybe lean slightly towards maybe we're at is how the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega have portrayed it since they've come back. They've been very referencey about it, which is very much their style, I know.
But they've been so subtle about it. Kenny Omega biting someone's arm.
Like, they've...
Oh, too funny.
They're not letting it be forgotten. And I can see a situation where CM Punk comes back into AEW and it was just something to gather attention before he went off. Well, I can see that being a possibility.
Maybe.
And it would be if they pull it off, it would be amazing. But I'm not fully convinced. Some people online are super convinced that it's all a work. But there is just that little bit of me that's like, well,
no,
maybe.
I don't think it was fake, personally. But these people are all businessmen, very successful businessmen, and if they can spin that, if say they've settled their issue, best case scenario, their issue, and they're amicable with their colleagues, they can make money off of that.
Yeah.
Definitely, they can definitely make money off of that. So it'll be interesting to see when CM Punk's fit, if he does come back, because as far as I know, he's still under contract with AEW.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything to say otherwise. But
No.
I mean, the other bit of drama with AEW, there is a bit of WWE drama I want to talk about. It's not all just been AEW drama this year, but the other bit is a bit more recent. William Regal.
Yeah.
It's a very interesting one because he left seemingly... It was right towards the end of Vince's
Yeah,
run.
It was the last lot of releases, wasn't it? Where it was mainly NXT.
Yeah, it kind of made sense at the time. Like NXT was undergoing its changes, didn't really seem to fit a place for William Regal, and there was an opportunity to go and do something good in AEW. So obviously he jumped at the chance to do it. They had the Blackpool Combat Club.
That's it.
Which had some great stuff. Was it Daniel Bryan, John Moxley, and I can't think what the other guy's name is.
Wheeler Yuta. And also formerly known as Cesaro.
Yes,
Claudio Castagnoli.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Put on some great matches in their own War Games sort of match. And that just seemed how it was. Triple H takes over. We don't hear anything of it until kind of it started to build to War Games, where people are like, I wish William Regal was back. Just to hear him say...
Well, WWE posted the video on Twitter of him saying War Games, just loads.
Triple H tweeted it like
it wouldn't be War Games without you.
Saying. And then we get to a week later in AEW and he gets written off TV, seemingly. Like,
the rumours were growing, weren't they? But then, like, Dave Meltzer came out and said, "Oh no, he's got a contract with AEW for 3 years or whatever," and people were confirming that. And then next day they go, "But there's this special break in the contract where if Triple H becomes the managing director of WWE, he can leave and go back." I was thinking, well, that's a very specific clause in a contract where at the point that he signed with WWE, he'd have no idea that Vince McMahon was going to be sacked.
No. Or maybe he did.
Maybe he did. Maybe he's a very clever man.
But it seems, at the moment, at the moment for us, it's the 7th of December, so it's not resolved itself yet. But it looks likely that William Regal will go back to WWE.
Yeah, fair play to him.
Whatever he ends up doing is William Regal. It's going to be entertaining. He's so good at what he does. Well,
he's in his short time in AEW, he's enhanced all the stories he's been in and left it in a better place. And if he goes back to WWE, I don't think you can blame him. He's got his son there in NXT. He's obviously very at home in NXT, and I think he's based in Florida or something. So fair play to the guy.
He'd been the GM of NXT for so long, you probably would base that to put down some roots, wouldn't you?
That's it, yeah. That's it.
And then, as I said, there's another little bit of drama for WWE that hasn't also resolved itself, and that was the women's tag team title drama.
I've completely forgot about that.
Way back in the year now, I can't remember exactly when, but the story goes that Sasha Banks and Naomi walked into Vince's office, put the titles down, and left. They were both scheduled to face opposite brand champions at the next pay-per-view, and both lose.
Yeah.
And they weren't happy about that. They weren't defending their titles. What was the point in having them? So they were going to give them back. They walked out. Now, the title stayed off TV for a while. They got the commentators to really trash them, but it was under Vince. And when Triple H took over, things started to change. A lot more women came back into WWE. Immediately at SummerSlam, obviously, we had Damage Control with Bayley, Dakota Kai, and Io Shirai coming out. And they really started to build strength back into the division, which has done great since then.
Yeah, it's been as good as it's ever been, if not better. They
eventually got round to doing the title tournament for the women's tag team titles, which is still a division that's in a bit of a dodgy place, but it was always going to struggle. So the resolution that hasn't completed is what's happening with Sasha Banks and Naomi. Neither of them have been seen in WWE or in the world of wrestling since. They're both still under contract with WWE. That is something that is still known. Because there is rumours of Sasha Banks going to AEW after trademarking some questionable wrestling sounding names.
Mercedes Moné.
It's not a great name, but I'm sure she can make it work. Not much has been heard from her with Naomi. Obviously, there's been loads of photos and videos and stuff of what she's been doing, because they've been doing like various red carpet events, various wrestling weddings that she's been attending because she's got some free time. Like, get out and get your name out. That's kind of what you got to do in that situation.
Keep yourself relevant.
Obviously, I can't remember which of the two, but she's married to one of the Usos.
Jimmy.
Do
you know Jay? No, I think it's Jimmy. I don't know. I'm going to say Jimmy.
So they've obviously still been around, but we still don't know. That's another to watch in 2023. Where
just imagine
Sasha Banks / Mercedes Moné turn up.
I think if AEW got her, that would be the biggest signing I think they've ever done post John Moxley. Yeah. I think bigger than. I don't know. I think on par with Punk, I'd say. She's massive. She's been in The Mandalorian. Yeah, she's a big name.
I think she's more likely to be Hollywood bound than AEW bound. But I'm willing to be proved wrong. It would be a shame to see her out of wrestling completely.
Yeah, I think personally the most likely is her going back to WWE, especially now Triple H is the man in charge. But just imagine the huge gap if she came out at 30 in the Royal Rumble. It would probably be Charlotte Flair.
Well, I think the Women's Rumble is going to be the more interesting to watch this year because I have no idea what the potential matches at Mania could be at the moment.
I don't care what they are as long as Rhea Ripley's involved.
She should be involved in one.
She has to be.
What brand is Rhea Ripley on technically?
Well, I think
she's on Raw.
I think they're Raw, aren't they? The whole group.
Yeah. So that means she would face Bianca Belair.
That would be a great match.
That would be a great match.
And then you have Becky against Ronda as the other one. Potentially.
I mean, yeah, that works.
That match. Yeah, I'd take that. But then where does Charlotte Flair fit into that? Because
did she come back? She's been gone.
I think she comes back.
I think she's been gone for 9 months.
Yeah, I can't remember the last time I saw her, but I don't know, Vince isn't in charge now, but I think if she's back, she's at Mania in a main match.
I wonder what she's been doing. Just chilling.
Giving anger management lessons to Andrade.
I mean, we don't know. She's sometimes quite a private person. She's been out for 9 months. Maybe she had a baby. Just didn't want to tell anyone.
Maybe.
There's been no news about what she's been doing. So
it's complete speculation.
Complete speculation. But if that comes out, it would make sense.
Mystic Damien, just related to Charlotte Flair a little bit. Ric Flair returned in his last ever match, but now he wants more matches. Personally, I didn't watch it. I saw some clips. I couldn't bring myself to watch that stuff. But yeah, Ric Flair wrestled again in his retirement match.
He wants to come out at the Royal Rumble.
I know he does.
If he's in the Royal Rumble, how does someone eliminate him?
Breathe on him and he falls out.
No, because you can't do a normal elimination because he's not going to be able to throw himself over, which means you're going to have to throw him out. Does anyone want to throw Ric Flair?
Braun Strowman, military press.
You're going to break him. No one can eliminate him. He's going to have to face Roman at WrestleMania.
That's the way he wants to go. He wants to die by being eliminated from the Rumble, with Braun Strowman launching him out like a dart.
Yeah, if he's in, he's facing Roman at WrestleMania. I mean, Roman's going to beat him, obviously, but that's the main event. If he appears at any point at Royal Rumble, he has to win. No one can eliminate him. It doesn't make sense.
Oh my god. You got anything else to speak about in 2022?
There's literally so much. There's 3 shows a week just on the main shows for WWE and AEW, not including all the NXT stuff.
So much stuff.
All the non-major stuff as well. So there's so much. If there's anything massive that we've missed that you really enjoyed this year, let us know in comments if it's on YouTube or tweet us here. This is our... Oh, I can't see my finger. The blue one. The blue one's our Twitter.
Now that we've spoke about 2022, I'm going to put you on the spot here and I'll answer as well. Who are your top 5 wrestlers of the year? Just off the top of your head. It's not something we've prepared.
Top 5 of the year.
I'll go first if you want. I'll say
can-
one and then you'll say one, or vice versa.
Does it have to be in a particular order?
No,
No,
just the
no
5
particular-
top wrestlers.
I'm gonna rattle them off fairly quick, but most of them are quite selfish. I'm gonna go Roman Reigns.
Agree.
I'm gonna go Sami Zayn.
Agree.
I'm gonna go Bianca Belair
Okay.
because I think she's been so good for the women's division.
Okay.
Two more. I haven't watched a whole lot of him, but what I have seen has been amazing. So MJF.
Agree.
I need one other.
Seth Rollins has got to be in there. Surely. He's been incredible
He has
this
been.
year.
He has been incredible.
Seth Rollins is in
Yeah.
mine. And then my 5th would be... tempted to say John Moxley. Trying to think of WWE people. I'm tempted with Rhea Ripley. She's
Rhea
been
Ripley's
really
been
good.
amazing, and she's worked the internet so well as well. This whole mammy thing is
Yeah, I'll go Rhea Ripley.
that's a reasonable. Moxley's obviously a good shout as well. I don't think he gets the credit he deserves quite a lot of time. Nor does Seth actually.
Seth
I didn't
doesn't.
mention. This is a little off topic. Did you see Vince Russo?
Yeah.
Saying that Seth Rollins isn't
He's an idiot.
a
isn't he?
future Hall of Famer.
And this is why he doesn't have a job in
Yeah.
wrestling.
It's such a ridiculous statement. Kenny Omega criticised him for it.
He's
Like-
one of those people, like the old football pundits that now no longer have work. Richard Keys. Richard Keys criticises when football teams celebrate winning a game. Oh, it's like they won the World Cup. They only beat Burnley. Screw you, mate. They won a game. What is celebration, please? That's what he is. He's trying to keep in the conversation by doing stupid, outlandish, controversial comments.
The two main negatives about saying Seth Rollins isn't a future Hall of Famer. One is the Hall of Fame in WWE is ridiculous. Like, so many people are in it, and you're like, why are they in it?
Exactly.
So it's like you got Donald Trump was a Hall of Famer.
Trump's in there. Mr. T's in there.
Like, it's got a celebrity
Herman's
win.
in there.
It's not a legitimate thing for
Exactly.
a start. Secondly, even if it was legitimate, Seth Rollins would be worthy of a place for that
Without a
WrestleMania
doubt.
moment alone.
Without a doubt, yeah.
Heist of the Century alone is worthy
Exactly.
of a Hall of Fame spot.
Incredible.
It's
I've got
never going to be forgotten.
I've got another on the spot question for you.
Okay.
Guilty pleasure of the year.
Oh.
And I'll give you mine.
Okay.
Dominic Mysterio. Dominic Mysterio has gone. Beginning of the year, I was hating on him. I remember it. I said he shouldn't be in there. There's people his age. Sammy Guevara, MJF, I think's his age. And look at where they are compared to him in WWE, like portraying him as like a 12-year-old kid almost.
Yeah.
But since that turn,
That's
we were there
what
for.
we were there for.
Since that turn, incredible, absolutely incredible. So he's my guilty pleasure.
If it wasn't for the fact, like, because I mean, if wrestling is a bit of a guilty pleasure
Yeah,
in
yeah,
itself. It's a bit hard to pinpoint, but I'm gonna go with why's my mind gone blank? Alpha Academy. I'm gonna go with that.
Ah, yeah, they're great.
Yeah.
You don't have to feel any sort of guilt for loving them. They're the best.
Like when it started the shushing thing, I was like, oh,
Yeah.
this isn't gonna go in. This isn't gonna go anywhere. And now I'm like, oh, this is so funny.
Chad Cable's just the best, isn't
Like
he?
he's not given the best stuff to work with, but he sure
Why-
does make it work.
Why they didn't book him as Kurt Angle's son, I'll never ever know.
Yeah, because he's got that kind of nerdy charm.
He's got the
That
Olympic
not
background
nerdy,
and the
geeky
comedy
charm
sense. Yeah,
that
exactly. Right,
drinking 2 jugs of milk Kurt Angle had. So yeah, he's very much.
that's enough looking back.
Yeah.
Let's look forward. 2023, a new year full of hopes. New year, new us, new WWE,
Do
new
AEW.
AEW. Predictions for next year.
Yeah.
Let's start with the Rumble. Who's
Well,
your winners?
The thing is, we're gonna predict the Rumble pretty.
I'm going to stick with mine,
pretty
like
much
I did
anyway.
last year.
Ow.
I'll give you my women's Royal Rumble, definitely. I'm going Rhea Ripley.
My prediction for I don't want to predict the winner of the Royal Rumble now,
Okay.
because we're gonna dedicate a prediction to that end of January anyway. But what I'm going to say as a prediction now is something that we won't be predicting then. I'm going to say that Cody Rhodes is going to return in the Rumble, but he's not going to win it.
Okay.
And that's going to be the twist that they build on to Mania. Because obviously, I think they're going to do the 2 matches with Roman. He's going to have to defend both titles independently, and I think they're going to twist it. They're going to dangle it.
Okay.
And then they're going to take it away, and then you've just got your story.
Well, my prediction is that Sami Zayn wins the Royal Rumble, and that's how the fallout starts.
Both could apply.
Yeah, exactly.
You could have the
well link
bloodline
into yours.
cost Cody Rhodes the match, and then you've got Sami and Solo, for example, as the last 2.
It's like an evolution situation. Okay, just one prediction for WWE in general for next year.
One prediction for WWE next year. See, I was gonna go something a bit boring and a bit like something about like Sasha Banks or something. But we've already spoken about her. Let's put up a clock while I think, and then we'll cut me thinking out.
Okay.
You do yours while I'm still thinking, because this is way more difficult than I thought it was going to be.
So my prediction, and it might be a bit out there, I guess, in a way. I'm not sure. It's in my head, and I can't decide whether it's really boring or a bit out there. So my prediction is that Roman Reigns doesn't lose the titles all of next year either.
You think he's going to hold it
until the following year?
Both titles?
Both titles.
For another year?
Until the following WrestleMania. I think that breaks Bruno Sammartino's record. Possibly.
His record's like 10 years.
Oh, is it?
Bruno's record is ridiculous.
Okay. Let's have a look.
I don't think he's breaking Bruno's record.
Let's have a look. Right, I can't find it. But yeah, I think because
I'll look it up for now. Again, I'll put it up on the stream.
We've not heard any concrete rumours that The Rock is back at Mania, and I feel like that's the person that's going to take the belts off him. That's what WWE want. They want.
Well, I don't think he does take the belts off him. That's the problem.
But if he even if he's back there and he retains, I can't see Roman losing them to anyone other than Sami Zayn.
I still think Cody is
maybe
destined for that WWE title. Maybe he doesn't win the Universal. Maybe they keep that impossibly long Universal title reign going.
Maybe he retires that belt.
I think we're going to see a couple more title holders in 2023. We've only had 2. No, we had a couple more because there was the whole Bobby Lashley thing, wasn't there? And Big E. That was was Bobby Lashley Miz stuff. Was that this year?
Yeah, that was this year. Yeah.
So there has been a few, but
yeah, because Bobby beat Brock at the Rumble.
Yeah, that was it.
And Miz cashed in on Big E to win the title.
So we've had very few title holders this year. And from when we get to Mania, there would have been 1 world title holder for the entire year in Roman Reigns. He would have held both titles from Mania to Mania.
365.
I think in the following year, so hopefully it all happens in 2023, but in the bit there'll be a few more, and I think one of them will be Finn Balor.
See, I was thinking the exact same thing. The way they're building him is good, and I think he's on the best form he's been in a long time. I
think if you go to having 2 champions again, then Finn gets one of the belts.
Who would you have as the SmackDown champion? Sheamus? Gunther?
Well, you could have it as Sami Zayn.
Sami Zayn. Kevin Owens.
Yeah. That you've got a main event
There's so many
there.
more possibilities of Triple H in charge where you
Yeah.
actually think of a name like Kevin Owens. I know he was Universal Champion, but like you think of him and you think, yeah,
You
could
think
become world champion.
on SmackDown you've got Sami Zayn, you've got Kevin Owens, you've got Roman Reigns, obviously, you've got
Dominic Mysterio.
I mean, yeah. No, he's on Raw.
But he could be
Ray's
champion.
on SmackDown. You've got Drew McIntyre. You've got Sheamus, Gunther. I don't know what show he's on, but Shinsuke Nakamura is.
Yeah, true.
He's never going to be completely out of.
Riddle. You've
Out of
got
picture. Riddle.
I'm just thinking of ones that could be
Yeah,
champion.
there's
not
so
necessarily
many
SmackDown.
that. Although they're not going to be your front runner, it becomes. It's like when they had a WWE and World Heavyweight. So many people got to hold one of the belts that you perhaps. Dolph Ziggler held it like 3 times, and I think if there'd only been one,
Jack Swagger,
he wouldn't have got to do that. But when you've got 2, you can do that. You can see if someone works with it.
Yeah,
so,
sure.
Yeah, I think Finn's going to win.
I think we've got some exciting stuff to come next year.
Any big predictions for AEW? I don't follow it enough to be able to make outlandish.
Well, like I said for AEW, I think we've got MJF champion for the entire year. For me personally, I think that's what you do.
We'll circle back round to this in December 2023 and see if these have come true.
Watch him lose it on Winter is Coming in a week or so to Ricky Starks.
Yeah, is Winter's coming after this video goes out, or is it before this video's gone out?
It'll be before this video goes
So
out.
he could have already lost. You could have already failed that. Well, actually, no, because if he doesn't go into 22 being champion, you can't get your prediction wrong. He could. You've not started, so that's the problem with having to pre-record stuff. Hopefully, this has all gone well. I don't know how good my editing is. We've not really done this before, so hopefully we've been able to edit this. Hopefully, it's been slightly entertaining.
Yeah.
If you are listening to it on a podcast that doesn't have a video, hopefully you've not missed out on too much. We've tried to explain stuff as best as possible.
Wrong hand. You've missed out on my lovely golden baubles and Damien's flashing bush.
It's a tree.
I know, I just wanted to make it sound wrong.
Saying my flashing bush sounds like I'm flashing bush.
I know, that was the point.
That's not safe for YouTube. And on that weird note, I think it's time to end. We're running on the hour mark on this video, on this podcast. We didn't play the intro proper.
This is our first proper video, man.
We've not done this in a while.
No.
That's our thoughts on 2022. Some of our predictions for 2023. You can... Wrong hand. You can follow us on these 3... This is way more difficult than I thought it was going to be. You can follow us on these 3 social media platforms. We're going to have podcasts throughout the year for the different shows. With predictions and reactions to what's been going on. Maybe more videos. We'll see how this one goes.
Come catch us at the AEW show in London. We'll be there.
Will we?
We'll get tickets. We'll be there. Anyway, thank you for watching, listening. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Hanukkah. See you next year.
See you next year. Wrong hand again.
That's the perfect way to finish it. Wrong hand again.